What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Graded Investors. Today we've got a react video. If you guys haven't heard, there is talk that there's a way to make sure you can hit a basketball kaboom out of Crown Royale. Stay tuned. Coming up next. All right, guys, so there's a ton of speculation in could the code on the outside of the box allow you to know that there's a kaboom inside? Let's jump into the video. I'll be stopping it throughout, giving comments. If you guys haven't, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. It means the world to us. And if you got a thought, drop it in the comments. I'll be trying to respond to all of them. We want to make sure that we talk this out. It's a very interesting situation. I will give you my opinion on the situation, but I do not think that this is as big of a deal maybe as some people do. But everybody has their opinion. You guys let me know where you guys stand, but let's get into it.
We know better than to just show people serial numbers in the box. Right. Like it doesn't matter what the box is. It's all about the sticker.
Several weeks ago, Sports Card Radio held a live investigation into backyard breaks, hitting product hit after product hit. Chumps like Blez, Leighton Sports Cards, Firehand, and of course, Brokeback Brad clocked in and said there was no way anyone could know what was in a Panini America product and it was all luck. What if I were to tell you it was as simple as looking at the front of the box? More specifically, where the NBA hologram appears on all seals.
So, real quick, this guy's already trying to call all of the biggest breakers, right? Leighton, Blez, Backyard. Backyard's got their own issues for sure, but like, none of them are Panini America, and the idea that Panini America Corporation is funneling these guys better boxes than anyone else is insane. It would be bad for business for everybody if it was found out. Could be bad actors for sure, but he's calling them all out because they found an anomaly in one particular product. So real quick, I'm going to be talking about anecdotal information, right? That's where someone says, I know somebody that this was experienced with. Dude, you don't have information. It's not tested. There's nothing proven, and you can't even speak to specifics, right? So anecdotal is, I know something. Sure you do. And we should just believe you, right? I'm not saying that we shouldn't believe people, but you got to back it up with additional information, additional knowledge, right? That's how science works. That's how data works. That's how legal works from like a law perspective. So, or law works from a legal perspective. I'm not a lawyer. You guys get what I'm saying, but so real quick, back in the 90s, people know that the correlation in Pokemon products, it was in Magic products, that you could go in and know that if you got this particular pull, Magic specifically, we tested this theory out. I know that it's true. You can go back and watch videos. But in the 90s, you could go and you could pull the very specific Magic card you wanted out of the box and then leave the rest of the box. All you had to do was open like 2 packs. You knew what the collation was. You knew if your card was going to be in there, and it was based on the holograms, right? So if a hologram was in this pack, the hologram was going to be in the 23rd pack down. Now, was that intentional? I don't think so. I think it was lazy. So what is Panini doing here? Well, allegedly in these little codes in the corner, it says that a kaboom will be in this box or it won't. In my opinion, a pencil pusher probably did that because they said, hey, we want to make sure that we get 1 kaboom per case. That makes a lot of sense. People complain when they don't get a case hit after opening a case. It's happened to us. It's happened to other people. We all know. It's also happened to us where we pulled 2 case hits out of 1 box. I believe Panini's trying to work through some of those issues. I think another issue, though, is whether it's Panini, Topps, Fanatics, they are hiring non-card people, right? They're hiring people who are smart in different areas to run their business. And I don't know that those people understand how people figure things out. Like, people aren't dumb. They're going to figure it out. If there's an angle, they're going to figure it out. So we're going to jump into this video. I'll be pausing it throughout to give you guys some thoughts. I'll be calling out some things that they say that I believe are loaded or just don't have the information or the weight. But from my opinion, just getting right off the bat with the research that I've done, it does seem like there's something here. It doesn't seem 100%, as they will more or less say, but let's jump into it.
Product. Each box has a hologram containing a unique series of letters and numbers. What if I were to tell you in Crown Royale basketball, just by looking at the serial number on the front of the box, you could tell where the Kaboom card is located in the case. What started out as a little-known secret on Discord is now the smoking gun. Skeptics who couldn't believe simple math will have a hard time denying. Popular group breaker LMS Box Breaks felt something was up when another breaker came into their stream and asked to see a close-up of the NBA hologram before choosing which Crown Royale box to break. Here is the footage from that incident.
So, real quick, I'm not a fan when people are going to be condescending right off the bat, and he's opening up saying that, breakers don't understand basic math. Okay, so let's go back to that. What he's talking about without actually jumping into it, and if you're going to say something like that, you should probably jump into it, but I think what he's hoping is you'll go back and watch one of his previous videos. I'll save you the time. So, Backyard Breaks hit something like 8, it was between 6 and 8 of some of the biggest hits out of all the product. Triple Logo Mans, other things like this, black one-of-ones out of Prism. So people are saying, hey, for them to hit these cards, it's crazy because they hit 8 of the top cards, right? However, during that same time, 30 or 40 other of the top cards, the LeBron Triple Logo Man was the top card, for sure. We're all on the same page, right? It's supposed to be like a $5 gazillion card, ended up selling for a few million. So we get that that's the top card. We get the Cade Cunningham Black is one of, if not the top card for Prism pulls, but some of the other ones that they conflated to get to their numbers were not the top card. They were just big hits, right? Because they also hit, I believe, a Curry Triple Logo Man, I believe, and some other things, but there are a lot of other ones that get hit. So when they do the math, they're doing the math on just them hitting the anomaly of those, but not taking into consideration them not hitting the other 20 or 30 cards that were hit during that same time. They didn't hit the Mac Jones Black 1-of-1. They didn't hit the Jacksonville Jaguar 1-of-1, right? They didn't hit a lot of other cards during that same time frame. And so they're only taking those particular sets, the numbers for those particular sets, and the math for them hitting those, and then giving it to us like we should believe it. Yeah, no, I'm on board with your math, but your math doesn't tell the whole picture, right? Data is about looking at, hopefully, the whole picture, as close to the whole picture as possible, and these guys are only looking at bits and pieces.
Yeah, I got Crown. It's from a whole case. Crown basketball. I got 5 on me, but they're all from a full case. I can do a deal on them too if you're interested. I can do a box deal for you, or I can do a bundle deal. You let me know. Yeah, of course. Give me 1 second. So there's the box right there. 1 auto, 1 men per box. Looking for the Kabooms. A lot of nice stuff comes out of this. This is one of my favorite products. Like I said, I got 5 on me right now, and they're all from a case. And we haven't pulled a Kaboom. Which one were you looking for? Superstitious. You talking about like this one? Like next one? Gotcha. Next one, okay. This one's got some nipples on it. You take this one? Okay, I'm going to move the 2 you rejected. I'm going to push off to the side. I'm going to put these 2 up here since we didn't say anything about them.
I do think it's funny. So this guy's obviously a breaker, right? Looks like maybe on a Whatnot channel or something, maybe Instagram. And the guy rejects the first 2, right? So he thinks the guy's superstitious, but he puts the other 2, the one, you didn't say no to these ones, so I'm going to put them in the bag just in case. And then pulls the one that the guy wants. He's a breaker. He knows what he's doing. He's trying to make sure that you got that little bit of... You have to look at these 2 boxes while I open the other 2.
And then I'll do a deal for you, okay, on this one. Give me 1 second. I want to take care of you, bro. Yeah, of course. Shoelaces? Yeah.
All right, so real quick, let's jump into this. So it's 609060, okay? So it's NCO59. I believe, and what's going to be super frustrating as we jump through this, they're never going to say what the numbers are that they believe, but I believe it is the middle 260. That's what I believe. I'm not 100% sure. I've not tested this. I don't have any Crown Royale in stock. It's not something that we've ripped before. I've never even touched a box of Crown Royale. I think I've had 2 or 3 cards because I bought into a break maybe last year. But I think it is the 6-0 in the middle. I'm not 100% sure. It'll be interesting to see. We'll compare. But remember, LKM and then 609060. Take a screenshot if it's helpful, and we'll look at it again later.
All right. Let me know when you guys are ready, and we'll rip it. We'll pull some heat. Rip it. Let's get it, guys. Appreciate you guys. Crown's definitely one of my favorites. I wish we had more first off the line. We had a bunch when it first came out. First off the line, I think is super juicy. Empty box. Let's see it. We should know pretty quickly if we get a Kaboom or not. Oh, we got it, guys. We got it. You want me to sweat it? You want me to go right into it? I'm going to pull the base cards out. Rip it. Let's go. Okay. We're going to go right into it, guys. Oh, by the way. Cam Thomas, rookie. Usman Garuba. Nikola Jokic, the Joker. And here we go. I'm actually going to flip it. We'll flip it and go. There it is. There's the...
We really need to talk about breakers taking... Just show the card, dude. We know it's a Kaboom. Just show it. Nobody cares, bro. Let's go.
Kaboom. There's the Joker. Here we go. Matt.
How many Magic Kabooms are there? Probably only one. Nice hit, Suggs. Right? Is there somebody else? Maybe. I don't know. It feels like these guys just walk this out so long.
Magic. Jalen Suggs, Kaboom.
Nailed it.
Nice hit. Nice hit indeed.
LMS box breaks is used to customers being a tad bit superstitious, but this situation felt different. First of all, another breaker bought the box, and the fact that he asked to zoom in on Cade Cunningham's shoelaces before selecting which box to open had LMS box breaks wondering if some hanky-panky could have occurred.
Seriously? Hanky-panky?
After doing some internet research for several days, LMS Box Breaks found the clip I played in the intro, where the breakers also revealed clues on what string of letters and numbers to look for on the NBA hologram in Crown Royale basketball. LMS Box Breaks then tested the theory on another box of Crown Royale basketball that matched the pattern, and here's what he pulled.
What's up, guys? Kevin here with LMS.
So remember this. Kevin with LMS is testing his theory on his own box.
So we are opening 21-22 Crown Royale. Okay. Basically, just want to show you guys we have totally sealed box here.
He also rubbed the nipples for luck.
I'm just doing a little bit of an experiment. We do have our sticker there.
So real quick, just so we're on the same page, RGZ, different 3 letters, NCO 59 different, 60 same, 90 same, 61. So is it 6090? I don't know, but I have a feeling it's the 60 because the 61 on the end is different. We're just trying to walk it through because they're not going to tell us.
And then we also have the 3 letters there. Just trying to kind of look into a few things and see if there's anything going on here. So I'm going to go ahead, open up the box. Everything is going to stay right on camera. See what we got here. Going to get rid of the seal. Looking to see what we can get here. And
What just happened there? The guy all of a sudden doesn't know how to open a box he's opened hundreds of? That was wild. Sorry. Just can't find the... Sorry, just weird.
see if anything comes out. So, empty box. I'm going to keep the box here on camera. You guys can see that was our sticker.
See, guys, no funny business from us.
See what we have here. So let's get into it, guys. All right, we have a Lonzo Ball. We have a brand in Boston.
Just so we're all on the same page, we already know he has a Kaboom, right? Because the Kaboom is the only actual fully rectangular card. So I don't know why he's taking so long to say there's a Kaboom. Also,
we have an Evan Mobley.
Oh, he went straight to it? He didn't grab a thing and hold it in front of the thing for us to have to look at the thing for so... All right, guys, it does look like this is a quality card. Let's squeeze it. Oh, you can see that it's a rookie. Let's see what team it is. Oh, it looks like it's the Cardinals. Oh, let's look at it slowly. Who is... There's not any... Seriously, it's... I don't know if you guys like that. Put a comment. Let me know. Do you guys like when they sweat that way? Like me personally, and maybe it's just my bias, I like to sweat by saying, hey, we know that there's a Kaboom in this pack. I'm going to save it till the end. And that's the sweat, is we save it till the end, and then when it's time, we go right to it because, like, we know there's a Kaboom there. Nobody's confused, but... I just think it's interesting that for his little test here, he doesn't sweat it. There's no like slow reveal. It's not annoying. But when he does it for customers, he does it the annoying way.
Yep, there it is. We got a Jonathan Kuminga. So there it is, guys.
I do love Kaminga.
It really does go to show we are onto something here, folks. And yeah, we have it figured out. And we ought to see how fun this will be when this really makes the headlines.
Kevin and Gio from LMS Box Breaks then went and found YouTube.
What does he mean by that'll be fun when this hits the headlines? Some of the condescending way that these guys talk throughout this video, and friendly reminder, I watched this video before, that's why I decided to do a react on it. If you guys have a video in the sports collecting hobby that you guys want me to do a video on, drop react videos, message me. Like, I would love to do a first reaction. This is not one. This is definitely one that I watched myself and went, yeah, we got to talk about this because there's just too many things in here. I'm not saying they're wrong, but they're not looking at it in a reasonable perspective from my perspective. My opinion. Anyway, it's interesting. Let's continue.
Breaks of Crown Royale basketball and found 100% of the time when a Kaboom card was pulled, the NBA hologram had a specific series of letters and numbers, meaning someone can easily determine which boxes have Kaboom cards in them. Can you tell where the case hits are just by looking at the hologram on every Panini product? Is this how someone could conceivably feed loaded boxes to a breaker? Is this why some people seem like they always have the luck and you don't? I'm sure breakers and people in the community will clock in and say it's impossible. In fact, Firehand Sports Cards, who clocked in a few weeks ago and defended Backyard Breaks for free, promised to send me a Crown Royale box if I revealed the secret. But here's the deal. LMS Box Breaks didn't want me to share the code sequence here on YouTube, but I can...
Okay, so let's talk about gatekeepers. So in lots of industries, there are people called gatekeepers. Those are the people with the information. Think of them like the bouncer, right? They'll let you in the club or they won't based on if they like you or if you pay them. And what this guy is doing is he's more or less saying, hey, Panini is a gatekeeper, right? They control the sports card industry. Oh yeah, largely they do. Fanatics is taking over, so he's not wrong. He goes, but they won't tell us, and they're feeding cards to people. You go, okay, yeah, that might be happening. I also have the code. I know it. I've broken the code, but I'm not sharing it with you. Hold on a second. So you're creating yourself as a gatekeeper? It's weird to me because in my opinion, right, if I figured out what the code was, I would share it with everyone because I would want everyone to know. The whole reason that this sucks is because some people understand it and are exploiting it and other people don't. Some people know, other people don't. That's exploitation, right? This guy's being exploitive, right? He knows whether he's using it or not, he's holding the information, creating himself as a gatekeeper. But they're also victims, we'll find out here shortly.
confirmed it by viewing several breaks on YouTube myself. The code sequence would have worked 100% of the time, and it does not appear on the boxes that don't contain Kaboom cards. I am confident that this code sequence on the NBA hologram is almost a surefire way to determine where the Kaboom cards are in Crown Royale basketball, and it just has me wondering what other products this would apply to. I wanted to hear more about this from...
I also think it's disingenuous, as he says, this will work 100% in Crown Royale 2022, right? We need to be specific because it's only this year. It's not been tested last year or the year before. And then also how much he smiles when he says, and what other products it happens for. Because he wants it to be true, right? This guy wants it to be true that other people are experiencing this, that this is happening with all these other products. He wants it to be true so badly he can taste it. It's crazy.
LMS box breaks. So here is an interview I had with them explaining the situation in more detail. I hope you enjoy. Okay, now we are joined by Kevin and Gio from LMS Box Breaks, which have been really kind of supplying me some very, very convincing evidence that you can absolutely tell where these Kaboom cards are falling inside these Crown Royale basketball box. Kevin, Gio, how are you guys doing today?
Great,
Thank you.
Cool. Why don't you maybe let's start from the beginning. Either one of you, start from when you first started hearing about this and basically the timeline of events to kind of lead us to today.
I guess that would start with me. So basically, all the information that we're going to discuss literally started with an interaction on our live stream.
I severely dislike when people use the term literally. Literally versus figuratively. Nobody was going to assume that you were going to say that it started on your live stream figuratively. So you don't need to explain to us that it literally started on your live stream because you're saying that it started on your live stream. I've been trying to break my 14-year-old daughter from using literally. Now I feel like I got to go talk to Gio.
And basically, we had a user come in, ask for a Crown Royal, and we said, yeah, we had some. We had a few boxes from a case that we had opened, and if he was interested, we'd be happy to.
Is it off-putting that he calls his customer a user? I sometimes wonder, when people, and I said sometimes twice, when people use very systematic or business words to describe other humans. Well, this was a user who jumped in, right? Or, hey, this guy jumped in saying that. Anyway, moving forward.
Rip it for him. And then a couple circumstances came up where he started asking questions like, what can I, how many boxes do you have? Can I see the boxes? And then basically it started with looking at the first one up close because he said he was quote unquote superstitious and wanted a better view of the box. And that's not abnormal. We get guys that, like boxes with certain wax or certain maybe mistakes on it that they feel is abnormal. So they feel more lucky about it. So they'll rip it. Just kind of picking the boxes that way. So I didn't think anything of it at first. And then that box, he said, no, I don't want that one. That one's unlucky. Can I see the second one? So I pull up with the second one. He looks at it. He says, no, I don't want the second one either. Let me see the next one. And then when he gets a look at the front of the next one, he asked for something that I thought was really odd, and it kind of threw my spider sense up, where he's like...
Only a nerd throws my spider sense up. I know that I'm being and I'm a nerd too, but I just think it's hilarious. My spider sense is tingling.
I see the laces on Kate's shoes. Well, the picture is always the same, so I don't know what the laces have to do with anything, and so I start thinking...
It's funny that he says the laces are always the same, but you describe the fact that mistakes happen. I'm not saying he's wrong, and it makes sense where he got to, but it's just interesting to me that couldn't there be a mistake? Maybe misprint on the shoes? I don't know.
Well, what else is there? And it's a little holographic sticker that Panini puts on them, and there's numbers and letters on it. And he goes, that's the one. And then it proceeds into, I'm not going to purchase it though. The breaker, one of the breakers on the platform, is gonna purchase it, which I thought was odd in a sense. because he responded by saying, I want the card shipped to them too. So that box, they're going to pay for it. So the guy goes in, he pays for the box, and we rip it, and lo and behold, there's a Kaboom inside, specifically a Jalen Suggs Kaboom. So it sent me into, there's no way these circumstances happen in this direction unless somebody either assumes or knows something that leads you to pick that specific box. So it made me start researching, probably for what, Kevin, 12, 24 hours. We were kind of researching what about that sticker, what about that specific spot tells you that that could be a Kaboom. So the letters, maybe the numbers, and then the next day, that same breaker was live, and another breaker recorded a conversation they had and said, you will be really interested to hear this conversation. So they recorded it and sent it to us. And in the conversation, they're talking about the Jalen Suggs that they hit from us and how it confirms the numbers on the bottom correlate into the Kaboom being in that box.
All right, so real quick, just so we're on the same page. So what has happened or transpired, I'm just going to break it down more simply. So a breaker jumped into their stream and was testing their theory. They're not explaining to you the breaker's perspective, right? Breaker A, this is Gio, this is Kevin. Breaker A jumps into Gio's stream. Breaker A is testing a theory, finds a random stream, probably didn't target Gio, he just happened to have the product that they wanted to test this on, and then purchases the product. Gio didn't think it was too weird. He sold it to them, right? Happy to sell a product, but then thinks it's weird afterwards because of the way it went down. Totally get it. Did feel weird, but you took the money. Correct? Like, we're all on the same page. He took the guy's money, right? And so we'll continue on, but this is where it starts to get where they're playing the victim, and it's bad in my opinion, but let's continue on.
And there's a whole conversation based off of that, and they actually say the numbers, which led us to start researching the numbers specifically on the box.
So the only reason these guys even find out that this is an issue is because a breaker jumps in, buys a box, sets off his spidey senses, then another breaker, kind of feels like a rumor mill, right? A bunch of people like, oh, this girl at high school, she saw this thing and she sent me this thing, so now I know this thing that I didn't know because it wasn't my group, right? So a breaker in a different group is having a conversation about how they figured out, cracked the code, and tested it on you just to see if it worked, right? Which, by the way, they then went forward, took the data, the information they gave, and they tested it on their own customers. But Josh, they didn't really, kind of they did, right? Because they could have sold that box they had to their customers, and instead they pulled it out of their inventory. They checked the numbers, validated that these guys said that these were the type of numbers that would get what they wanted, and then they ripped it. Those numbers weren't the same numbers that was on theirs. 6090 was. Those are the numbers so far that we know. The letters didn't correlate. But also, why are they not sharing the letters and the numbers? Again, making themselves feel special, and they're becoming a gatekeeper because they have information others don't.
And then that kind of opened up basically how they were gaining the information, how they had produced, why that box has the Kaboom in it. And there was other things that kind of led us to that. We did some research off of YouTube.
And I'm sorry, I'm breaking this down way too much, but then we did some other things that led us to other information off of YouTube. What other things did you do? Like, let's be real. You opened a box, it had a Kaboom in it. You set the box aside. You opened a box, it had a Kaboom in it. You set the box aside. You looked at the two boxes. You said, what's similar about these boxes? You go, oh, there's a sticker. Well, there's a sticker on all the boxes. Okay. Is there something similar about those numbers? Actually, there are. These two numbers are similar. These two numbers are similar. I don't know. Again, I'm still trying to figure this all out. So you set those boxes aside. You go and you grab, because you got a trash can. You got to recycle, right? I got my little recycle box right here. So you go in there, you grab a couple boxes, and look, lo and behold, even this Topps Chrome box has a sticker. The sticker says BCG3607745. Maybe there's ones that know that there's an SSP in them, right? That could be happening with with tops as well. So when you pull them, you set them aside, you compare and contrast, and you say, okay, so this is what's similar about these, and then you see if it holds true, and you do it over, hopefully a wide enough, right? You do it over hundreds of boxes, and you should get a really good idea if it works. Why are they not sharing the number? Why are they not sharing what they found? And why are they talking in very vague, right? It's almost like they want to sound like they're smart, but they're not sure they're smart, and they're not willing to let anybody else test it. Because if you put out the number, just boop, boop, right here on screen, this is the number you're looking for. If you can find this number here, that's what you're looking for, and that will get you the Kaboom. It would ruin that product line, right? It would at the very least drive down the price. Dude, they're breakers. They have this product. They want to sell this product. Okay, perfect. Then if you know it, say, look, this one's guaranteed a Kaboom. It sells for this. These ones are not Kabooms. They sell for a little less. Let's just adapt to what we know. They're not wanting to do that. I don't understand.
Kind of seeing if you want multiple boxes with that same set of pattern to kind of show more data that's actually exists. It's not a one-off or like a random experience. And so we tested it ourselves, and we found some other data that kind of supported that a certain string of numbers on that little holographic sticker basically led you to the Kaboom inside of a Crown Royal case.
I love, and you're going to find these guys start dropping like hot terms, right? Like, oh, we looked into the data, and come on, bro. You didn't look into the data. You looked at some boxes, and you're gathering data for sure, but you're not looking into data. You're looking into information, and you're creating data yourself.
It led to it 100% of the time. Every box, obviously you can't see the serial number on every single box, but was it every single box that you could see the serial number and a Kaboom came out of it? Was it 100% of the time?
So basically, from what we opened and from what I've seen based off the sticker, where I can actually get a clear picture of the sticker from somebody else or ourselves, the serial number on the holographic sticker, it's a little sticker, it has the NBA logo on it. There's a set of numbers on the bottom, and if they line up in a certain place, every time that we opened a box, or I saw somebody open a box, the same configuration continued. So nothing's 100%, nothing's guaranteed.
Sure.
But we have yet to see boxes under that configuration not hold a Kaboom, basically.
Nothing is 100%. Colin goes, sure. If it's not 100%, then it's not true, right? Or it is 100%, it is true. It's this weird thing that people say where they want to be like, this is something people say. Nothing is 100%. People get divorced, right? If you're a Republican, you're this. If you're a Democrat, you're that. Dude, these things are not true. It's either 100% and it's a problem, or it's not 100% and it's made up, right? I do think it's 100% and it's a problem. I do think that's probably true in this because I've seen enough smoke. I think there's fire with this particular product. But that's the other issue, is that people use that same thought process. Well, it's not 100%, but we know it happens all over the industry because we found it once. You go, or someone was put in charge of that one and made a big mistake and nobody double checked them. That happens all the time. All the time, people make decisions that aren't double checked and mistakes happen. Anyway, it's either 100% or it's not true. And that's the thing that these guys need to understand. This sticker either works or it doesn't work. Now, if it doesn't work one time out of 1,000, then you go, okay, perfect. That was the anomaly and it is still true.
In a small sample size, yes.
Wow. And how do you...
That's another thing. So you're going to say in a small sample size, yes. How many boxes did you verify? Please give us the information. Give us actual data. You use the terminology data, but you're not providing any data. Do you have it? Or is this just a feeling based off of on a small sample size? It's for me, it kind of gets under my skin just a little bit. They're not being clear. They're trying to create smoke. That's what it feels like. And I think there is a fire. I really do. But you're not giving us the fire.
Do you think they figured this out? Is it just trial and error, or what? How do you think?
Here's Colin as a journalist going, say what I want you to say. I'm going to lead you to what I want you to say. I'm not going to say it because I don't want it to sound like I'm trying to get you to say that Panini has employees who tell people this.
How do you think this was determined?
They told us privately that it was a member who found it through Discord. There was some kind of Discord going on, and there was conversation. And you could take everything with a grain of salt from this conversation because this is after the fact of exposure, right?
We can take everything that you say so far to this point as, or with a grain of salt, because it's all anecdotal, right? So far, you've provided zero tangible data. As far as I can tell, and maybe we need to check, so I'm going to look real quick. So usually you would have, check out LMS box breaks, right? You're advertising for them, but we have no links of the other videos that they found for their data, right? They're not providing any actual tangible data. So a lot of what they say is kind of bullshit to me, and I think they're right. Again, I do think they're right, but it's almost like they don't appreciate journalistic integrity. Colin definitely doesn't seem to, because provide the data. Support your claim. Also, why does he have to say, well, they told us privately? So now it sounds like you're not respecting the fact that they shared information with just you, and now you're spreading the information. But the one piece of information you won't spread, what's the fucking code? Seriously, put it right on the screen. What's the fucking code? Tell us what the code is and let's go test it. Everybody who has a box will check their box, and anybody who has a box that has that code can rip it. And if they have a downtown, or a Kaboom, I apologize. I like the downtown better. Don't listen to these guys. Kabooms are not better. If somebody has a Kaboom in theirs, boom, another one's right, another one's right, another one's right. Hey, we found one that's wrong. Okay, now we can start to actually look at data, but they're not trying to do that, and I'm not sure why, other than protecting themselves, maybe protecting Panini because they have a relationship there. I don't know.
So, but basically that they had kind of fall victim or prey to a Discord conversation, and then this individual had the code and were showing them how to do it, and they used us to basically find it out. So they sniped a box from us.
They used us. They sniped a box from us. They stole from us.
And then got the Kaboom, and then decided to keep quiet about it, basically, until we figured out there was something suspicious, basically.
Do you think this is possible for...
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. This is the part where they start to play up their victimhood. If you were testing a theory, are you really going to throw it in someone's face? Like, you're not going to blow up their stream, their chat. You have zero responsibility to tell them. I mean, for all intents and purposes, they tested this on their customer's box. That box could have gone to a customer. They opened the box, but they think they're doing it the right way because it was live on camera and you could watch. Yeah, but not everybody sees that, bro. It still could have came across to somebody as disingenuous. So I never understand why people think that they're the only ones who do things the right way. There are lots of people doing things the right way. There's lots of people who probably said, look, we're only going to break these as cases because we found out there's an issue, and it's just the best way to protect our customers and our own integrity, because you can't see it till you can see the boxes, so let's just get to ripping. Anyway, let's continue forward. I just have a tough time with people thinking that they're better than others when those guys did the same thing you did. They just did it in a different way, and you feel like you were stolen from, but you stole from your customers. So, semantics, in my opinion.
For other products, like, have you seen a similar situation, or do you think this is possible for other types of print runs on other products?
This is where Colin wants this to be a bigger thing, right? He wanted them to say that Panini has somebody that feeds them the information, and he wants them to say that this is a bigger issue so that he can say, see, I told you, I was right. Those guys are only getting the good cards because they are getting fed them, and not that they're ripping a ridiculous amount of stuff. Now, mind, I've seen a few things. A few people have sent me some videos of, backyard breaks and how pumped they were for hitting the logo man. My question is, do they always do that? Do they always have that stuff prepped? Do they always act like they're going to hit the logo man? I mean, in a box, if you've opened enough boxes, where the hit should be, right? The hit kind of goes in the same spot in the box. Anyway, I'm getting off on some stuff, but it's just super frustrating to me when people see smoke and they think there's fire and they don't realize that there's just anomalies sometimes.
I had a private conversation with another breaker that said he had something similar a couple years ago happen to him in a similar product where somebody had figured out something related to the numbers where you could find the case hits, basically.
I had a private conversation. Dude, what the fuck does that mean, bro? We all have so I have to now say I had a private conversation. You remember when private conversation meant you were going to keep the conversation between the two of you? Because that's when you say private conversation, I think it's an A-B conversation and nobody else gets that information, but you're sharing the information. So it wasn't a private conversation. You just had a conversation. But a lot of what Gio does is he's trying to play it up, or it feels like he's trying to play it up. But this is the anecdotal part. I had a private conversation with a guy who says this happened with a product a couple of years ago. Which product, which breaker, and when? This is anecdotal. Like, dude, listen, you're just making stuff up. You're saying that someone had an experience they thought was similar. Come on, dude. This is...
So, based off of that, I haven't proved anything related to that, but it doesn't seem like this is a one-off. It seems like, A, this has happened before, and then it kind of just opens Pandora's box as far as what else, And it's not blatant by any means. It's literally just a number, a set of numbers that dictate what's inside. Basically.
So here's what's funny to me. So number one, because this is true, we can't believe that anything else isn't true, right? So now this is true, so everything has to be true, right? Or possibly true, and that's why Pandora's box is open. The other thing is, so his idea that the code says that there's stuff in there, it doesn't. A code potentially says that there's the Kaboom, the case hit, right? What they don't talk about, and it's super frustrating to me, is why that would happen. Right? They leave it to your imagination. Guys, put in the comments down below. Like, seriously, why does Panini do that? This is not a bad actor. This isn't Steve in the back who's just putting this code on him on his own, right? It was a decision made. They had to create the stickers. The stickers had to go on the correct packages consistently. A lot of people had this information. A lot of people had this information. Let that sink in. Several people had this information. More than one person. This is not a bad actor. This was a decision. The question is why? In my opinion, it's because they said, hey, every case needs to have one of these. Make sure you pull one. Double check it. Make sure. We don't want to have cases go out that don't have them. Please don't tell anybody. That's what I think happened.
If you could say it for lack of better terms.
And we're talking about Kaboom cards, which we were talking off air, are worth, several $100s on maybe a low end. And for a top end player, we're talking about maybe thousands of dollars, depending on the condition and all those types of things as well.
Yeah, they're highly sought after cards on any product release. We all know the infamous football Kaboom from last year.
We all know the infamous football Kaboom. Do you guys know what they're talking about? It's so frustrating to me when people give half information, right? Don't give half information. Either give all the information or just stop. It's bad journalism. It looks bad on these guys, in my opinion, right? It's just the infamous Kaboom card. Get the fuck out of here.
So Kabooms are I think, one of the staples of a case hits that guys like to chase. And I find the Kabooms probably are more popular than even the downtown.
Disagree. You're full of it. Downtowns are the best. Kaboom, is the same card with a different player on it. Downtowns are specifically tailored to each guy. They are better cards. The Kaboom has definitely rose in value, but anybody who likes a Kaboom better than a Downtown, I need to understand why. I think the Kabooms are cool. I love the Kabooms, right? I definitely, if I hit a Kaboom, I'm excited. But I find the Downtowns way more fun to enjoy in my collection and look at. So, just my opinion, but I would be curious if you like the Kaboom. Comment why you like the Kaboom better than the Downtown.
That some people like to chase as well. So basketball too. So in basketball, you can only get Kabooms in hobby boxes, where football you can get them, at least the base set, in retail and hobby. So I feel like the hobby for basketball is actually more rare than even the football version of itself. So that could even take in a sense of price point differential as well.
What do you think the impact is if this is something that maybe not for every single product, but for a handful of products throughout the year? What do you think collectors should do? Obviously, there are going to be breakers out there that might find this out and may, not put that box in circulation.
You mean the way LMS did, because they found out that it worked and then they tested it to show? If they're still selling any of those boxes, they're the bad actors that Colin is trying. And I don't know if they are or aren't. I really don't know enough about LMS, and I'm not going to go research it because it's not important to me. What's important to me is you pulled a box out of circulation that your customers could have gotten. Now Colin is trying to throw a little bit of shade on other breakers, and I go, come on, bro. Listen, these guys did what you're talking about. They did it. They pulled a card out of circulation because they knew the box was the box. So if anybody out there is doing breaks of this particular product, I would say, consider doing case breaks where it's an unopened case. Other than that, you should figure out what the code is if you want the Kaboom. But I'll show you in the next video that, if you pull one without the Kaboom code, you could crush anyway.
Of their breaks. And there's certainly people that can come to your stream where you're maybe not privy to this information and say, I want that box. Are we going to go to hiding the hologram now on stream? Is that where we're going?
It kind of opens up a lot of different discussion, though, doesn't it? And I don't think there's one answer for any of this, because I don't think that this is maybe secluded just to Crown, but it also doesn't mean that the code is similar through all products, right? So does it mean that people start trying to figure out each individual product as if there is something, and then what is that as well?
Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that be funny if Panini finds out, right? I assume they know this. Again, I believe Panini made a decision, right? Good or bad, they made a decision. Wouldn't it be funny if they found out, though, and then they kind of went against this and they started putting codes on all the boxes so that people would rip more boxes to try to figure out how to break the code, but there isn't a code? They're just random numbers on the boxes?
I think this opens up a lot of conversation and questions, and I'm afraid to say what kind of answers we're going to get out of it.
Look how big Colin's smile is. Because this is exactly what Colin wants. We'll talk a little bit more about him. Actually, let's just jump into it. So, real quick, guys, this is something we all have to just remember, whether it be, if you lean left or right and you're watching more of Democrat or Republican stuff on social media, you just got to remember, look, these guys, they care about clicks, right? So here, let's click this right here, Sports Card Radio, open it, bango, right? So let's look at their most recent videos. 8,000 views, Kaboom cheat. Kaboom scandal, 15,000. How to pull a Kaboom guaranteed, 50,000 views. How to pull a Kaboom guaranteed. This is a bullshit clickbait title. They're not telling you. They just want you to watch their, 25-minute video with a bullshit clickbait type. Not clickbait. Bro, what's the answer then? You didn't give the answer. We're 3/4 of the way into your video. There's no answer. But look, if you go back a few months, oops, didn't mean to click that. 30,000 views 4 weeks ago. It took them a month to get there. 23,000 views, 20,000 views, 55 group breaker caught swapping optic downtown. These guys are out looking for problems in the hobby. Why? Because bad news sells better than good news. People like bad news. I mean, look at this, down 30,000. They rip off somebody. I mean, just, you have to remember that these guys are looking for the clicks. They're looking for the views. And if anybody wants to say, Josh, you are too, absolutely. Absolutely. I absolutely are just like them in the sense that I'm looking for clicks and views. Absolutely. I'm not going about it this way. Their title is 100% clickbait, as we're now 3/4 of the way through the video, and they've told us we're not going to tell you what the code is. We're not going to give you the answer, but this thing says how to pull a Kaboom guaranteed, not clickbait. It is clickbait. Unless they give you the answer, it's clickbait.
What about you, Kevin? What do you think about, is this going to cause you to change your practices on
We finally get to hear from Kevin? I didn't think Kevin had an opinion.
showing the holograms, having just people? I mean, I know Whatnot and those types of streams is conducive to a guy or a girl popping in and
A guy or a girl.
kind of spontaneously buying something, and so you don't want to turn that off. And if you're hiding serial numbers and things like that, it might end up making you look shady, because now if we know the code and you've already opened up the Kaboom in the back, and so it's this tricky situation.
You mean like they literally did open up the Kaboom already? Like that? All I'm saying is it's super frustrating that these guys are playing it off like everyone else is the bad guy, but you did it. You recorded it. Like, the fact that you recorded it and you're being transparent about it, dude, but if you're selling those boxes still that you for sure know don't have Kabooms, you're full of shit.
Is this something that you're going to be able to address with your customer base?
Yeah, that's a great question. So as Gio and I, as we do our breaking, typically when we will get our product in case form, one of my policies is I always make sure if we're opening a case, it is always opened on camera. I don't like to do anything where I say have some just like regular boxes just laying around. If it is a case, it is open. It's still in the box that it came in when it was shipped to us, and everything stays on camera. And then I will crack the case right there on camera. I don't lay all the boxes out, just for the simple fact of we don't want it coming across as, hey, who knows? Maybe they know where that is, or there's that sticker.
So just so we're on the same page, I don't really buy a whole lot of cases. I think there's a metric ton of breakers out there who don't buy full cases, right? Getting full cases, I mean, dude, you're an elite, bro. You're talking about some of the biggest shops get full cases. My local shops in Sacramento didn't always get full cases. They weren't allotted a full case. They were allotted 6 boxes. And if they wanted to buy cases, they had to buy them separately at retail price. So I don't think these guys realize that they're elites, right? I don't think they realize that they're coming across as elitists. We don't like to do that. If you only have a couple boxes, you could have already gone through. Dude, most of us don't know how to go through boxes. Most of us who buy 3 boxes have 3 boxes. That's what we have. We didn't comb through 700 boxes to find the 3, right? So the idea that there's a best way for them to do it that makes them not the guys who do the bad stuff, bro, listen. Unless you go live and you sell the entire case live and that case never left the stream, anything can happen once you go off stream.
Or whatever it is. So our best practices for the honesty and the integrity of what we do with LMS is we do everything right on camera, and we make sure that all the product stays there, and there's no, hey, maybe he swapped out, or hey, can I see that sticker? Because clearly with how this whole thing happened and everything went down with this Kaboom, I kind of feel like sometimes if somebody kind of got roped into a situation to help a buddy out to see if this was truly the case. If you did it once, you wouldn't be going around to other breakers and asking the same question, hey, do you have any more of that stock, to keep trying it,
So first things first, this guy's a corporate douche, in my opinion. You're going to see it kind of goes downhill here in a few seconds. But when I say corporate douche, best practices, right? It's a huge corporate term that people throw around, and these are the things that the rest of the kind of community or the groups that are similar to us do, right? These people do it, so we can do it, okay? And so the idea of like equality and fairness, dude, listen, it's gone on this product. Stop pretending like it still exists. If what you guys are saying is true, it exists, and you are a part of not the fairness part, right? If you're still selling it and you open one on camera, hey guys, we're doing this the right way. We're opening this on camera. See, the box will never leave the camera so that you can see it. See, 6090, that seems to be the numbers. You opened it. You kept it. You didn't ask if somebody else wanted to buy it. You opened it and you kept it. So if you sell the rest of the boxes and are still saying, hey, it could have a Kaboom, you're a fucking liar. Sorry for my language. It's just true.
For me, if somebody asks to see the barcode, there's going to be two instances. Yeah, you can see the barcode, but you're going to pay 4 times the asking price.
We're douchebags. So you can see the barcode, but you're going to pay 4 times their asking price. So they are still selling the product. Again, I'm not going to do the research. If somebody else wants to, feel free. If you guys think I'm out of pocket for saying I'm not going to do the research, it's not important to me enough, right? Because I don't know LMS. I don't necessarily, based on this conversation to this point, I don't really like them. It seems like they're looking for a problem. There is a problem. I'm on board with it, but you're looking for it to be bigger than it is, and you're looking for yourself to be the victim. And yet you're saying that if somebody wants the Kaboom box that is a Kaboom box, they have to pay you 4 times. For real, bro? They got to pay 4x if they know it's a Kaboom box. You also know it's a Kaboom box. It's just super douchey. And all 3 of them are just laughing. Fucking idiot customers. Idiot users. We don't call them customers or people that are a part of your community or whatever. We call them users here. It just comes off. It's a bad look. Kevin looks like a douche right now.
You're gonna.
So maybe
this
is a new moneymaker. Maybe now we're gonna get more margin out of some of these spots.
So I'm the big proponent, and we talk about it here on the channel, is that breakers need to be sustainable, right? Your local card shop need to be sustainable. They need to be able to make a small profit so that they can continue doing business next week so that you can go back and get something else, right? We all need to pay profits to people around us. We need to pay them to the farmers. We need to pay them to everybody, right? Because if people aren't making a little bit of money, then they can't sustain doing the practice that they're doing. But the idea that Colin is joking and laughing and saying that maybe you can finally make a little bit more margin, dude, get the fuck out of here. You guys are talking about how terrible this is in the hobby while now celebrating the way that you could possibly leverage this back on your users. It's a really bad look, in my opinion. I think they don't see it through the average person's eyes. But when I'm looking at this, and again, dude, let me know what you guys think. Put it down in the description or in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Am I offhand? Am I wrong on this? I don't think I am. Because the idea that they know where the Kaboom is, and if you want to know, then you got to pay 4x. I mean, it would be different if they said, look, I think the way we're going to do this moving forward is a box needs to sell for $300. 1 out of 12 boxes has a Kaboom. What we're going to do is we're going to lower the prices of all of the boxes to $250, and we're going to put all those $50 extra on the Kaboom box because we know which one it is. So if you want to rip a Kaboom box, you're guaranteed a Kaboom box, and it's going to be, $600, $800, whatever the number is. That's fine. That's logical. That makes sense to me. I don't think you're taking advantage. You're saying, look, we're going to lower the price on other boxes because we know they don't have a Kaboom. And we're going to raise the price of the box with the Kaboom slightly. So everybody's going to get a discount, and if you want the Kaboom box, it's right here. But what if you're wrong? What if it doesn't have the Kaboom? What if Panini made a mistake? There's so many questions here, but this is a really bad look.
Boxes, right?
Well, it's
Reel it back in, Kevin.
unfortunately, it's just that situation that we're kind of dealt with. I understand even being in the business of breaking, you just never know where the cards are or anything like that. You just never know whether you pack out products or you're looking for a Kaboom. I might open up.
So this, again, let me know what you guys think. This is super confusing. We don't really know where the product is. Dude, you're literally talking about this. You're talking about the fact that you know. But then you're like, well, as breakers, we don't know. Do you know or do you not know? How about we shouldn't know, but on this particular product, we do. And it feels bad because we do. And we shouldn't, but we do. Right? That's a conversation, but the way he's talking about it, he's turning himself into the victim. We don't know, but other people do.
A box or a case of 12 boxes, hit it right off the bat. Sometimes that stuff happens. It's just the nature of the game. It's as much of a chance that people take as compared to even for the breaker. But when you really look at the whole thing and you break for the hobby, which has always been our moral and our philosophy
We break for the hobby, also known as our users, and the people who will pay us 4x if they ask to see the codes. So I never understand this whole breaking for the hobby thing, right? Because I think some people hear that and they think, oh, these guys aren't in for making money. They're doing it for the hobby of it, right? Because in a lot of people's minds, hobby means not to make a profit, right? Which I don't think has to be true, but I do think that that's the way people perceive it. Again, let me know if I'm wrong on this one, but it's weird to me that this guy has just stated, Kevin, earlier, that he's just gone full-time. He's now a full-time breaker. Dude, that's a business. That's your job. That's your responsibility. That's how you provide for your family, right? So what does, clarify for us, what does we do it for the hobby mean? Because it's not a hobby for you, right? And if you have a case of 12 boxes and the Kaboom gets hit in the first box, why does that matter? If you're doing it for the hobby. Well, it matters because you can't charge more knowing that the Kaboom could still be out there, right? We know, if you guys have broken before or you've watched a whatnot or an Instagram stream before, you know that as cards don't come out, the prices of the boxes continue to raise because people anticipate that a Kaboom is coming. And they get to kind of crazy numbers, to be honest. I've seen some, got to some crazy numbers back with football and blasters. So I just don't understand what these guys are trying to say, other than at this point, Kevin's going to try to pacify. I don't know if he knows he screwed up, because saying that you're going to, be predatory and take advantage of people because they know that there's a Kaboom, and if they want it, they have to pay more. Well, then who gets that box? It's random. Just a lot of this doesn't make sense to me.
to keep the right tactics and the right community together. These are things that we now know to make us wiser going forward. You learn from things that happen to you sometime. And one of the things that we really wanted to do was bring this to the light and to the attention of many big names within the sports card industry, because I'll tell you what, it's not a good feeling, and it's really, I don't want this to happen to many other breakers, and this is why I really, I said let's make this a priority and get the word out, because it's not going to happen once, it's not going to happen twice, but to happen 3 times.
So again, what does that even mean, right? Like what does it mean it's happened once, twice, 3 times? As of right now, we know that a guy jumped into their stream and took a box, right? Said he was testing it. They're mad that he didn't tell them. They feel like he's taken advantage of them. He's stolen from them, right? They haven't said he's stolen from us, but if you hear the way they're talking about it, we don't want to see this happen to someone else. See what? You don't want to see somebody get a Kaboom? No, they don't want to see somebody who knows there's a Kaboom and they basically stole it, right? So I don't know what these guys think they're doing, but they're holding back the information. They're still being the gatekeepers, right? But let's continue.
So
Very interesting. Kevin and Gio from LMS Box Breaks. Any final words of, obviously we're speaking to the community. We're obviously speaking to collectors, but I know breakers watch this as well. Anything else that maybe you have to add for all of them?
Kevin, I'll let you start. Yeah, with
I think it kind of goes right back to, to what I was saying just a little bit ago was, I think there's different business processes that go along with breaking, and I guess my biggest thing is to make sure that you just kind of always make sure that you have the love for the hobby, that you continue to do the right thing, do right by your customers, go above and beyond, and all the other good stuff follows. I've been in the card industry breaking for 2 years. I just went full-time doing it as a full-time with Gio. We absolutely love it, and we wouldn't be doing it if we didn't love it. And, just continue to go hard, go really, really hard for people that are just starting out in the industry with breaking, and just do the best that you can. And at the end of the day, do the right thing, because things do catch up, and we need more good people instead of the bad stuff like what happened with us going on, because that's the stuff that we don't need in the industry, and hopefully that changes in the future.
We don't need stuff like people being able to snake one of our kabooms, because that was supposed to go to our customers. Let's test to make sure they're right. Hey guys, we did it! We knew it! We knew it was right. Come on, guys. Do you not know how to look at it from an outside perspective? You also did it to your customers, right? It either happened to you or it happened to your customers. In my opinion, right, when I go buy boxes, okay, I went out, I got myself some certified boxes, and I had a plan in my mind. These were going to go to the Facebook group, okay? No intention to open them for myself. These were for the Facebook group. We ripped them on the Facebook group. They went out to my guys, right? And gals. Just kidding. So what I don't understand, right, is if you got those boxes to sell to your customers and you're mad because somebody who's not your customer took a box that had a good hit in it, why is it that you then also took a box that had a good hit in it out of circulation for your customers? Help me understand how that makes sense, and for how you get to be mad at one person for doing it, but there's zero accountability for yourself. You're calling them a bad actor, and we don't need that, but it's a good thing we do so many things right, because we're here for our people. We go hard for people who are new in the communities. It just...
Yeah, I definitely agree with all that, and I think even still, I think this these kind of topics are good as much as they might scare people. I think bringing awareness to something instead of staying in the shadows of it is only going to make this hobby better. And I think we can benefit from it if we take the lessons learned and kind of maybe weed out some of these people or some of these instances, and kind of put a little bit of hesitation to people that might want to think to do this in the future, especially in this type of way where it's so blatant and obvious as well. We break for the hobby.
So again, they're blaming the people who found the anomaly and not discussing the fact that Panini needs to change their practices, right? And I think early on they said along the lines of Panini needs to fix this, but again, they're blaming people. People did not put this information into circulation, right? But people like you, Gio, Kevin, and Colin, are not giving the information out to everyone freely. So now you're still holding the information. Dude, it should be blasted everywhere. Here's the code. This is what you're looking for. Be safe out there. Here's the code. This is what you're looking for. Be safe out there. Right? Holding the code back so that you know. Listen, Gio, Kevin, Colin, they may be taking advantage of the code. They may not. Who knows? But by not giving everybody the same information, some people will, And you're a part of that, right? You're allowing that to happen because you have the information.
And I think there's a lot of breakers out there that are the same way. I mean, we've had plenty of discussions with people in the last 24 hours just on this subject alone. And we've had a lot of support, but we've also kind of grown. And hopefully we can kind of bring awareness so that people don't get stuck in this same kind of situation. And then hopefully the conversation and the hobby grows from it.
What does that even mean? We've grown. We've had a lot of support. We hope that the hobby grows from this situation. Dude, what are you talking about? What does that even... Somebody explain that to me. Somebody put down in the comments what you think they're trying to say there. If you made it this deep in the video, I would love to hear it because it makes zero sense. How have you grown? Right? You've learned that there's a new angle you got to look out for? Right, yeah, I get it. That's not good. Nobody likes that. Right? You caught it early. They got a box. It's not a huge deal, but you're worried that other people did. Like everyone who ever pulled a Kaboom from you was probably because they had this code. But again, you guys are holding it back. You're allowing Panini to get away with it, right? And I just mean away with a mistake. I don't think Panini's pulling a fast one, but if they were told, hey, look, all of these things have codes on them, this is bullshit, they might fix it. They have some still in stock. They could go and put new codes on them or something, right? Anyway, it's very frustrating because it's like these guys don't realize they're complicit. Anyway.
Thank you guys for coming on. Very interesting. And when I saw this, I was obviously intrigued. And I appreciate the information
Clickbait.
that you shared with us. And it's certainly compelling, to say the least. And hopefully, maybe there's some changes made with those hologram stickers because it appears there's certainly some ways to identify what is in at least certain.
Hopefully there's some changes to the hologram sticker because there seems to be some ways of maybe kind of sort of figuring out a way to something. Fucking bullshit, Colin. I'm calling you out specifically, bro. I don't give a shit if these guys said we'll only do the interview if you promise to not share this. Dude, you're acting like you're a journalist for the hobby. Be a journalist for the hobby and put that information out there. Put Panini on blast. Let everyone know. Because right now, some bad actors are taking advantage of it and not regular people, right? And everyone should know when they go in to buy a box which one has the Kaboom. And if they're buying one without a Kaboom, they should know that. If that information exists for some people, it should just exist for everyone. And holding it back makes you a part of the problem.
Certain products just based on the serial numbers that are on those NBA stickers. So I appreciate you guys bringing this information forward, and maybe a year from now we'll sit here and situations like these will not occur. So I appreciate you guys.
Sure, Colin. That's exactly what you want. We looked at just the last few weeks of your video catalog. You definitely want bad situations to stop existing, because you'd love to be out of business. Guys, just remember, whether, again, you're looking at the media from sports cards or the media from sports. I mean, this morning, Jeff Saturday is going to be the coach. Turns out, racist move. Look at all the black coaches you didn't hire. Dude, get the fuck out of here. They made a bad decision. They hired a guy into a terrible situation for a few months. He's going to have the job. Maybe he'll get to keep it. Who knows? Nobody knows. Nobody has any information if that job was offered out to Reggie Wayne, if it was offered out to Mathis, if it was offered out to anybody else. All they know is Saturday was brought in and they assume it was racist. Everybody's looking for a problem. Everybody wants there to be a problem because having a problem is way more fun. Colin is the same. So you just got to remember that the media, it sells fear. Fear is more exciting. It triggers animalistic responses from us humans. And negativity is the same. You pay way more attention to things that are scary because you have to protect yourself from those, right? It's fight or flight. You don't pay attention to things that are happy and good. Those are things you do. I literally don't have to pay attention to good things. Those are not trying to hurt me or kill me. I have to pay attention to bad things. It's just the way everything works. It's the way your brain works. So just keep that in mind. Not everybody's pushing out positivity. You gotta really work to focus on finding positive things. But let's finish this one up and then we'll jump into the next one.
That was Kevin and Gio from LMS Box Breaks. Check them out. I appreciate you guys joining.
Again, just a reminder, guys. This is everything out down here, right? There's a specific code sequence, NBA hologram, that allows you to know which one Kaboom case hit. How to pull a Kaboom, guaranteed. Definitely not clickbait. And look, he gave them 50,000 free views in theory, right? And then he's like, hey, join me on Twitter, join me on IG. Zero data. Zero data to support what they're saying. All right, let's jump to the next one. This is Hitman. Hitman rips. If you guys haven't checked him out, he's good, people. But again, so just looking, right? Buy-in, filler, nothing, right? Nothing. There's nothing on this stuff. He's just making sure to cover his butt on this. So let's check out Hitman.
It's Hitman. Hope you guys are doing good today. Today, we're going to talk about the newest Panini controversy that's rocked the sports card world. It was uncovered by Sports Card Radio recently, and it's regarding the serial numbers on the boxes, and certain serial numbers can help you find the case hit. We're going to test it out and see if that's true or not right after this.
So I'm still going to argue this didn't rock the sports card world. I think probably people are put off. Let me know, again, if you guys made it this deep in the video, let me know you guys' comments. But this doesn't rock me. This just, I go, well, that's discouraging, right? Like, for the most part, that's how I feel. Again, this product is not widespread. This isn't something everyone jumps into. So I don't think most people are affected by this, but it's off-putting, right? You're not excited about this. I do love his simplistic logo. Just basic, just simple. Basketball and football is all we do.
Welcome back, everybody. Recently, Sports Card Radio released a video where they showed certain breakers have figured out how...
So again, these guys aren't real media, right? Certain breakers, dude, be specific, right? If you're going to talk about it, LMS Sports Break, check out the links in the description below. Put links of the guys, right? That's not what we're doing either. We're just reacting to this video. But if you're going to say information, if you're going to give information, link in the description below. Make sure you put your links.
To find the Kaboom in Crown Royale. And it has something to do with this serial number right here.
That's not one.
Each box has its own serial number, as you can see.
Not one.
As a breaker myself, obviously with this recent news that this can be done, this product will no longer be offered in my breaks unless we do it in full case form with...
What? Responsible? This will not be offered in my breaks unless we choose to do it in full case form. Dude, that's the only responsible thing to do with this information. Or, again, price these ones down because they don't have the Kaboom. This one we're going to price up because it does have the Kaboom. I'm fine with that too. Either one is fine. This is a far more responsible take than LMS. I don't know what LMS is actually doing, but they had a platform to say what they were going to be doing moving forward. He even asked. And what they said was, if you want to see the serial number, you pay 4X. Get the fuck out of here.
It's, an older product anyway, so these boxes are no good to me now. Probably won't be selling them. Cannot put them in my breaks, so the only thing left for me to do is rip them. Now, in the Sports Card Radio video, they did not disclose how to figure out how to find the Kaboom. I did a little research
yes, they
myself. Did. I went back and watched the video of the...
Not clickbait. How to find a Kaboom, not clickbait. They definitely told... Even he's not calling him out with any vitriol, but I will, dude. It's bullshit. That was clickbait. Of all clickbait, you got 50,000 views in like a day and a half. Congratulations. Bullshit.
The two boxes that they showed open, and then I dug up some old videos.
See, 60, 90, 60, 90.
Where I hit Kabooms, where we did case breaks.
See, but that's the one that's weird because that one doesn't have any sort of the same code. I
also researched boxes from Leighton's videos.
See, that one says 6093.
From videos on the internet that I could find of people hitting a Kaboom, cross-referencing all the serial numbers, getting as much information as I can and doing my own investigation. And what I figured out is what I think it is. It has to do with two specific numbers in the serial number. And I have 8 boxes here. This is from, loose boxes that I had that I ordered from my distributor. And I went and looked at my boxes after my investigation. And I believe I have two boxes that have a Kaboom in it. So we're going to test that theory and find out if they're right or not. Basically, what I figured out is it has to do with not the first numbers and not the last 3, but there's these two digits in the middle, if it says 10, like this one does, or 09, I believe it has a Kaboom in it. So this one should have a Kaboom in it. Let's take a look at this one here. This one, these two have the Kabooms in it, so I had already looked. This one has 09. I believe that has a Kaboom. As you can see, the rest of them, that has 6.5 right there. This one has 3.4. This one has 0.1. Now, as you can see, these are from different cases, so I don't know if...
See, so first off, I'm just going to say this. I far more respect this kind of look at what's happening, right? Like, he's actually showing us the digits. He's letting us walk along with him. I think it's far more interesting, in my opinion. Again, Kabooms are the big pull in this product. There are some pretty sick patches and RPAs and things like this, but you're hoping for a Kaboom. You're hoping to hit a Kaboom. So I like this conversation already better, and I know this isn't like an interview. Sports Card Radio does a different thing, but at least he's giving us data, right? What he believes based on what he's seen.
This was figured out for a certain run of boxes or not. That's why we're testing out the theory today. This one was 7.0 or 0.2. This one is 6.4. And this one is 8.9. So, from my investigations and what I believe, those do not have Kabooms. These should have a Kaboom. This one is more likely to have a Kaboom because it is 0.9, I think.
See, and that's where if we start talking about more likely, then it's not empirically true. And then if it's not empirically true, then it's tendency. But there's got to be something, because I do genuinely believe that there's something. But it's 60, 98.
I think that's
60, 90 were the other ones that hit.
And this is 10. So I believe that every video that I saw, if there was a 09 or 10 in that specific spot right there, it had a Kaboom. So we're gonna test out that theory right now and find out if it is. Like I said, these boxes are dead to me. They're not gonna be in breaks. I can't sell them unless you sell them as, there is a possible way to sell them as non-Kaboom boxes, because there are other good cards that you can hit from here. RPA, silhouettes.
I still think that he's missing it. That you can just say, look, probably doesn't have a Kaboom, right? Based on what we know. But if anybody wants to rip it, instead of 350 or 400 or whatever, let's do it for 300, right? Or whatever the number is.
Not just a case hit, so it's not like they're worthless, but definitely not for breaking. So here's the first box. We're going to find out right now. Let's do it.
But again, I do appreciate that he's just pulling them off the market, right? He's like, look, these are not going to be used for anything else, so let's test the theory, right? It's irresponsible for me to run these through my thing. Best way to do it, right?
I'll know right away if there's a Kaboom because it is a full-size card. Along with there's the other cards are die cut in front of it, so we'll know right away. And I could be wrong. I just want to say that I could be wrong. That was just from my investigations. And maybe that was like a certain print run and they did a different number for the next print run. Who knows? We're going to find out right now. There is indeed a Kaboom in there. Wow, you can see it right off the bat. Wow. Just wow. Okay, let's go ahead and sweat the Kaboom, I guess, since it is there. But that basically confirms that I don't think it matters what print run. I don't know. Some other base. Let them in auto to.
Sorry, I'm just gonna jump.
The part of me is confirmed.
I think breakers can't help it. They just have to sweat it, right?
That is.
So here's the other caveat. Even if you know where the Kaboom is, it doesn't mean you're not going to pull kind of one of the cheaper Kabooms, right? Because a Bill Russell, the guy's been retired from the NBA for a long time. He did pass away recently, so... But yeah, you're not always going to hit a good Kaboom, but a Kaboom does have kind of a floor of value, and it's got to be in the $100 to $150, $200 range, so it still matters.
Is going to be a Bill Russell Kaboom. So, wow, Bill Russell. Rest in peace, Bill Russell. But there it is. That's our first Kaboom. I wonder if the other box has one too. That's Bill Russell right there. on the first Kaboom. Let's go ahead and sleeve that up, and I guess we'll test it out with the other box and test if my investigation was all correct. There we go, first Kaboom. All right, and if it is correct, the other box with the one Kabooms, but I also I also recorded notes of boxes that didn't have the Kaboom, and I don't think any one of them had 9 or 10 in that spot. So from my investigations, 9 or 10 in that spot means a Kaboom. All right, here's to find out if the 10 box was true too. I don't see one.
Yeah.
So not true. I don't see one. Only the 09. But then again, maybe it's from a different print run. Yeah, that one was 1-0. So yeah, I guess it wasn't completely true what I thought. It was only the 9s that had it. So this one is Jeremiah Rumson Earl, Bones Highland. Our mem is going to be Josh Jackson. Oh, but look at that. We did get an RPA of Jalen Green on the silhouette. So even though we missed the Kaboom and we figured out that the 10s don't have it, I picked up a Jalen Green silhouette. So that was nice. It was a nice.
So that was a huge hit right there with the Jalen Green. Definitely more valuable than the Kaboom, right? Like that's a big hit with the RPA, the silhouette. It is out of 199. They do have, what are they? The silhouette primes out of 25. I think pretty huge hit there, but it's going to be kind of interesting because obviously just because you hit a Kaboom, it's not going to be the best box you could hit. So is there a secondary thing where they're putting case hits in 10? Who knows? So 09, so 90-60, right? 9060. It's the 09 part that matters, or 60-90, 09.
Surprise. And then also a Kaminga rookie royalty to 10. That box is better than the Kaboom box, to be honest with you. So that actually proves one more thing, that just because it's guaranteed to
Hitman, it doesn't prove anything. It shows that it's possible. It doesn't prove anything.
Have a case hit doesn't mean that it'll be a better box than the non-case hit Kabooms, because I think this box actually ended up better than the Bill Russell Kaboom, because I got a Jalen Green silhouettes and a Kaminga as well. And there's the Shea Gilgeous-Alexander to 99. So
SGA to the moon this year, baby.
My thoughts after.
Man, if the Thunder can figure out how to win, sheesh.
That one is
probably next year.
Yeah, Panini's got to do something about the serial number. Now, weighing boxes, and using serial numbers, it's a thing that's been in the hobby for years, 10s, 15, 20 years. That's not something new. People have always figured out a way to get an advantage. So my thing is buy from reputable dealers, break with reputable breakers, and just protect yourself there. But I felt like it was good to get this video out, show it all, let you guys know that this kind of stuff is in the hobby, and to watch out and be careful. And that's it. That's my final thoughts on it. And shout out to Sports Card Radio for bringing this to everyone's attention and bringing awareness to stuff like this. And as far as Panini, hopefully this is something that can't be done with future boxes. Maybe they stop serial numbering like that, or maybe they don't number all the Kabooms with 09, or some kind of different system to where this can't be done. You would have thought that wasn't possible, but obviously it is. So hopefully Panini will make that change as well. Well, that does it for me. Let me know your guys' thoughts on.
So just to close out for us, guys, thank you guys for checking out the video. Big shout out, seriously, to Sports Card Nation, or Sports Card Radio, for calling it out. We'll put a link to their YouTube in the description. Link to Hitman in the description as well. LMS you can find through Sports Card Radio if you want to find them. But at the end of the day, here's the bottom line, right? Hitman is correct. The goal for this is to have Panini see it, right? There are way better ways for Panini to, they could have an internal scanning system where they could scan something and say, that's the hit. All right, perfect. Let's make sure it gets in the box. Or just have the hits stay in their own box and let it be random. But again, I do think people have complained about opening up a case and not hitting a case hit. I think that's happened. And I think this was someone's slightly misguided idea on how to fix that, was to make sure that the Kabooms get into the cases by numbering them, right? It makes sense. It's simplistic. It's easy. It's something they did in the car business. We could tell you what the price of the car was from the numbers, even though our supervisor didn't want customers to be able to know until we told them. So they have to talk to us to get prices, which is also stupid. But anyway, neither here nor there. But thank you guys for checking out the video. Put a comment down below. If you guys got a video you want us to react to, put the link in the description down below, and we will be reacting to more videos in the future. Thank you guys so much for coming out and checking us out. We'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.